Walking and keeping to himself in the fields near Hyrule Castle, a young child named Link hears a distressed cry for help. Running towards the cry, he sees Princess Zelda being imprisoned by the Dark Priest Aghanim and rushes in to try to save her. Sadly, the inexperienced child is defeated easily and subdued. For his trouble, Aghanim transforms Link into a monster, leaving him in the fields of Hyrule to fend for himself as the new creation of the mage. As Link lies on the ground, a pouring rain begins to fall. When all hope seems lost, a lone figure approaches, having heard the commotion and taking note of the loose green tunic that is so familiar. Coming closer, Link's uncle sets the lantern to the side and scoops the pink rabbit into his arms, confused and fearful for his charge. As Link lays unconscious, sniffling and shivering on his bed, his uncle looks at the shield and sword hanging on the wall. The Dark Priest Aghanim has gone too far. Taking the sword in his hand, he contemplates what could be done. He's now the uncle of a monster, but he knows that Link is still Link, no matter what. His nephew. In other words, Link's uncle is better than most parents. But I digress. Link's uncle examines the sharp blade carefully, hesitating only a little, and yet he had always taught his nephew about courage and compassion. If he wouldn't protect his family, no one would. Meanwhile, Link's body remains that of a rabbit. As he slowly regains consciousness, he hears a voice in his mind. It's Princess Zelda, and she is calling to him, begging him to help her. Link slowly opens his eyes. He knows he is different now, but it doesn't matter. He has to do the right thing. It's time to save Princess Zelda, no matter what form he's in. Thus begins the unusual tale of the hero people least suspect. Hello everyone! Welcome to this game! Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Draygone Fuzzbottom Jr., and I am a raccoon dragon, as far as you know. So, in case you couldn't tell from that little opening, this is a ROM hack of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, which just recently celebrated its 25th anniversary. How's that for good timing for this Let's Play? I promise you it was not intentional. This is actually a Patreon request and it just so happens to be starting now. More on that in a bit. First, let me explain what this ROM hack is about, although the opening kind of already explained it, but there's a bit more backstory to it than that. So you see, in the original Link to the Past, Link at one point visits the Dark World, and while there he is temporarily transformed into a pink rabbit. Because it, like, represents his body and spirit and something like that. And, you know, it's pretty interesting, but it doesn't last very long. And so, Ryusuta, who was also interested in this transformation, decided to make a ROM hack in which Link spends the entire game as a sword-wielding pink rabbit. And, it's pretty interesting. This is a graphical hack in which, you know, Link is transformed into a pink rabbit, obviously. And there's also some text changes going on. As you can see right there, that one is a little bit of a mistake. As far as I'm aware, that's the only time that sort of mistake happens. I have played some of this ROM hack, and, yeah, most of the dialogue is properly intact. Kind of curious what the deal with that particular instance is. But anyway, so this is a Patreon request by Ella Enchanted. Kind of. Ella Enchanted actually requested that I let's play the original Link to the Past. However, I actually suggested that I do this ROM hack, and she agreed. Cause this game, I've been wanting to let's play this ROM hack for a while. Not that I would have actually Let's Played it anytime soon. I'm in the middle of Castlevania, and I won't be able to finish that for a while, and after I finish Castlevania, I'll probably, Let's Play Mario 3 or Banjo-Kazooie. So, doing this for Ella Enchanted now pretty much just means that I won't have to wait until, 2019 to do this. Alright, before I fill this screen up with file information, I should go ahead and do some Patreon shoutouts. And those shoutouts are going to Ella Enchanted, Nicole Spicer, Snow Hazard, Lit Dragon, Wario Land Go Pyramid, and a special thanks to my special sponsor, Theo Vellum. This guy right up here. With that said, let us go ahead and take care of this game. Now, since the opening, of course, referred to Link as Link, I will, of course, be referring Link as Link. Could put in my own name, but, consistency. By the way, in case you're also interested in this hack, there is a link to the... Oh, what is it? Oh, I had this joke properly prepared. A link to the patch in the description. Joke failure. Expect some of it as this Let's Play goes on. And there we go. Link is a pink bunny. Yeah, that also interests me, by the way. I am a huge fan of transformation, and so when I got the opportunity to Let's Play this, it's like, heck yeah! Link, please wake up. I am a prisoner in the dungeon of the castle. My name is Zelda. The wizard Aghanim has done something to the other missing girls. Now only I remain. Aghanim defeated you and transformed you into a monster when you tried to save me. Please, Link. I am in the dungeon of the castle. Please help me. Link, you're awake. Don't panic, but I found you injured in the woods, and, well, you seem to have been transformed. I don't know what is happening, but you should rest and recover. I might be home soon. So yeah, graphical change for Link, and some dialogue changes to reflect the changes. Like, some of the townsfolk even will treat Link a little bit differently now that he is a quote-unquote monster. That's a bit harsh for someone who is a 5-foot-tall, talking Lagomorphed rabbit pink bunny, but I guess they're just not used to such things. This was like before the era of furries. Hey, Uncle, you forgot your lantern. Or a lamp. You got the lamp! Now you can light torches and see your way in darkness. Careful not to light your tail. That's pretty good advice, actually. Not that, I've actually done that. So, the opening of this game is really epic. I mean, look at this. We have stormy weather as we head our way into a castle to rescue Princess Zelda. Out of all the Zelda games, I think this one is the most epic. What does this sign say? I will give 100 rupees to the man who finds the descendants of the wise men, the king. I'll take it! Where are they? We shall protect the king from monsters like you. Now get lost. But I want to rescue the princess. I don't want to have anything to do with the king. Oh, what's this? Help me. I am in the dungeon of the castle. I know there is a hidden path from outside of the castle to the garden inside. A little bit of a hint there, if you don't know where to go. Yay, telepathic Zelda. She's like magical and stuff. Anyway, we'll just follow this trail to this inconspicuous bush here. And lift it up, and now we'll just hop on down. Oh hey, it's Uncle. I don't know if he has an actual name, but he's Uncle. Link, what are you doing here? I told you not to leave the house. Huh? A princess? I suppose you won't take no for an answer. Very well. My sword and shield look a little big for you, but they will have to do for now. Link, what matters most is what is in your heart. Take care. Alright, and now we got a sword. Now it's worth noting that in the original game, when Link is turned into a rabbit, he cannot use his sword or shield. So, you can tell there's a bit of modifying right here, because this is normally not possible. By the way, I can't help but notice that the dialogue there was changed. Like, Link's uncle normally finishes off by saying, "Zelda is your..." and then he passes away. Now, there is some speculation as to what he says, and the most common speculation is that he was trying to say that Zelda is your sister. Which, actually, I prefer. I would have liked that little bit of original translation to remain the same. I don't know why it had to be changed for this hack. In fact, this game was also re-released for the Game Boy Advance, and in that, the translation was also changed, and this soldier actually knows I'm out here. Interesting. He suspects, but he can't do anything because he doesn't actually have the key. Now, I think the secondary translation or something, maybe it possibly was the original Japanese, refers to Zelda as Link's destiny. And I think that's dumb. Because if Zelda was Link's destiny, then why did Link's uncle try to do the job? Also, because Link's uncle is not a rabbit, he could not handle the drop down that hole and broke his leg and died from it. That is my theory. Anyway, we were told that Zelda is located within the dungeons of the castle, and so we're pretty much heading straight there. By the way, it is worth noting that for a long time, I was not a fan of this game. Got the map, you can use it to see your current position and the rest of the dungeon. Press X. Okay, we'll go over that momentarily. I was not a huge fan of this game initially, because I thought it was boring. The reason why is my first Zelda game was Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64, and let me tell you, that game is epic. It's a good game as far as like gameplay is concerned, but it also is awesome in the storytelling, especially considering this is Nintendo 64 we're talking about. And I just had to keep playing to find out what was coming up, and I was such a fan of the game that it's like, you know, I should try out all those Zelda games that I missed. And I wound up getting a Link's Awakening for the Game Boy Color afterwards, and that was pretty fun. Certainly not as epic as Ocarina of Time, but it had its charm, and there was some interesting stuff going on in between dungeons, like escorting Link's would-be girlfriend to a village of talking animals. And I'm not just naming that example because I'm furry. I'm also saying it because, well, that was the first thing that came to mind. Another thing is like taking a chain chomp on a stroll, and the chain chomp eats all the bad guys while you're wandering around. How cool is that? Well, anyway, you got the boomerang. Give it a try. To select an item, press the start button. We'll get to that momentarily. I want to finish my story. So, later on, I tried A Link to the Past, and like I said, the opening to this game is pretty dang epic. Unfortunately, as far as storytelling goes, this game doesn't have a whole lot of it. Like, in between dungeons, there's not a whole lot going on. Like, in Ocarina of Time and Link's Awakening, I wanted to find out what was going to happen in between each dungeon. I wanted to see what would happen next. Unfortunately, in A Link to the Past, what happens next is a dungeon. And then after that, another dungeon. So, not a very exciting game for a while. Eventually, though, I came to rather enjoy this game and appreciate it for what it is, because what it lacks in storytelling, outside of the opening, one point in the middle, and the ending, it makes up for it in exploration. Hyrule Field in this game is the best in the series. It is big, it is interesting, things to explore and discover, which is a lot more than can be said for the Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time, which is just this big, empty field with nothing in it, aside from a ranch in the center. So yeah, eventually I came to like this game and even beat it 100% on the Wii U Virtual Console. Anyway, that's pretty much the story. There's more to it, but you know, we gotta move on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and switch over to my boomerang, and we got what is essentially a sort of boss. We can stun him with a boomerang temporarily, which is interesting because it stuns his chain. However, rather than just get up close to him, I'm gonna do this the easy way and throw a couple of pots at him. You got the big key! This is the master key of the dungeon. It can open many locks that small keys cannot. Awesome. Alright, hey look, treasure. I'll take that. Alright, what's next? Oh, right, I'm rescuing a princess or something, aren't I? Oh, there she is. Thank you, Link. I had a feeling you were getting close. Link, listen carefully. When the wizard kidnapped me and transformed you, he took control of all the soldiers in the castle. I fear the worst for my father. The wizard is an inhuman fiend for what he's done to us. Do you understand? If I choose not at all, she'll just repeat herself word for word. So, yes. Alright, let's get out of here before the wizard notices. I know a secret path, but first we have to go to the first floor. Let's go. While this song is playing, though, I would like to make note of, well, the song. It was kind of interesting starting with Ocarina of Time and then eventually getting to this game and hearing some of the music that would also appear in Ocarina of Time, like this song. It's interesting hearing the history of Zelda music. And so begins the best escort mission ever. Like, if you've ever played an escort mission in a video game, you know how painful they are. You have to, like, protect the person you're escorting, and they often get themselves into trouble and get themselves killed. Not so with Zelda. In fact, she is pretty much ignored by everybody. I can pretty much, like, here we are with this guy. Oh, wait, I already killed everybody. Well, for the sake of pretending I hadn't killed anybody, I could, like, use her as a meat shield if I wanted to. It wouldn't work. The enemies would just go right through her to get to me. But I could try. Oh, there's some enemies. Right, because I knocked them down the pit, not actually killed them. Alright, be a meat shield, princess. See, doesn't work too well. I'm gonna get some more health. Actually, never mind. I can get some health from some pots up here. By the way, back to the subject of me trying to get interested in A Link to the Past. I really did try. I knew this was supposed to be an awesome game. So I wound up owning like every version of this game, just about. I own the Super Nintendo original, I own the Game Boy Advance port, I own the game on Wii, and like I said, it wasn't until I was finally playing it on the Wii U that I finally beat it. And 100%. Let's avoid those guys, and we'll just travel along this way. I like how while we're traveling downward, Link's holding the pot up, but in actuality, he's holding it with his ears. I guess he's holding his arms up just in case his ears don't prove strong enough and he starts dropping the pot. Gotta be able to catch it. I'm supposed to go down there. However, let's go ahead and take care of you. Let's head outside just to show off something real quick. Now, there is no escaping from out here. In fact, the front gate is still locked. But I wanted to show off this. Yeah, that's a pain. Well, it doesn't actually cause damage, but... yeah, we're not actually going to get through that. Is Link's sprite different while he's getting shocked? Let's see if we can freeze frame this. I could not freeze frame it. I'm gonna try. Oh wait, whoa! We're taking damage now. So bumping into it does not cause damage, but apparently hitting it with your sword does. So let's not do that anymore. Instead, we'll just move along. All right, there's gonna be some pots up here. In fact, there's some pots up there. Let's go ahead and grab those real quick. Because there is one annoying thing about this game, and actually most Zelda games. When your health is low, the game makes an annoying beeping sound. I wish developers would realize how annoying that is. Like, I know that this game is from 1991, and so it's to be expected, but even modern games tend to do that. There is a secret passage in the throne room that leads to a church. I'm sure the old preacher there will help us find sanctuary. Hopefully. It would be unfortunate if it turned out the preacher is one of those jerk priests who are all Bible-thumping, hates furries just because they're different. Even though furries are technically normal people who are just a little weird. You know what? Never mind. Let's not fight them. We can push that shelf to the side for a secret passageway. Can you still grip things? Oh, right. You're still holding a sword and shield. I forgot. By the way, do you have a light? It's pitch dark inside, and you can't see without one. If you're ready, let's go. Help me push it from the left. Alright. I'm gonna need this then. That was another interesting dialogue change. I guess Link's got fuzzy hands because, in case you didn't know, rabbits don't actually have paw pads. Their hands and feet are like completely covered in fur. Still, Link is still able to get a good grip on his sword and shield, I guess. And here we have an interesting lighting effect, but also an annoying one because it just drastically changes direction when you move around. Alright, I gotta be prepared. I hear mice. Here, let's do this, light things up so we can see what we're dealing with. There's some mice. They cause damage, so you do want to kill them. It's either them or you. Oops. I don't know if you can burn them, though. So, don't actually try. I should open those pots while I'm going along, because I'm going to need the magic. Because this is a magic lantern. You see that? Do it, Gutton! We got snakes. Or ropes, as they're actually called. They're painful. I won't waste my magic if I'm just going into another room. Gonna have to check some pots as we go along, because sometimes pots hold magic. And as I was trying to say, this is a magic lamp, and in the meter to the left, that's my magic meter. Alright, there's some more magic. Found the key. Let's just move into the next room. Did your fur get wet? I'm so sorry. I forgot to mention that the path leads through the sword waterways. We're almost there, though. Let's be careful. As a mostly furry raccoon dragon, getting wet is actually not a big deal. I mean, I guess us raccoons are naturally okay with getting wet, so that's why. Not that I wash my food or anything. In case you're wondering, the reason raccoons wash their food is because they're not actually washing it, it's because our hands are actually really sensitive. And getting our hands wet enhances the sense of touch. And so it gives us a good idea of what we're feeling. Ah, pots make good weapons. Ow. That didn't cause a whole lot of damage. But they do cause damage. It's probably like a quarter of a heart, and so that's why that heart didn't go down initially. More darkness! Yay! It is pretty cool, by the way, that this game essentially immediately starts off with us going through a dungeon. That reminds me, I didn't check out the dungeon map. I'm not going to need to use this very often, but just so you know, here's the dungeon map. In fact, we're technically in a different dungeon than we were when we were in the castle, because none of the castle hallways are on this map. That's interesting. Well, had I remembered to check out the map while we were still in the castle, we would have seen that there are some rooms that I did not get to go to. But then again, that's pretty obvious considering that section that was blocked off by the magic barrier. Alright, moving on, and I think now we are going into, yep, some lit rooms. Already got lighting on the walls. Yay! Also, we got a bombable wall here. We can't actually access it right now, though. We're going to have to wait until later when we get ourselves some bombs. It won't actually take long, but then we have the issue of actually getting back into this dungeon. We're going to need some other stuff to get back here. But that comes later. Up. I could swing my sword, but I feel like just killing them with pots. 'Cause it's fun. Don't try this at home, kids. Unless you're playing this game. In which case, feel free to try it out in the game. Out of pots. You live, little mousey. The church is just beyond that door. Pull the switch over there. Over here? Alright. Out of my way, please. Alright. Oh boy! Up! You needed to be a little bit more specific there, Zelda. Good thing they're dropping hearts. These things are kind of dangerous, especially considering they can charge right at you. Like that one. You have to pull the lever to open the door. Press the A button and hold down on the control pad. You don't say! I would have never guessed. You know, if you're going to bring up how to pull the switch when we get close to this one, you could have mentioned that this was the wrong one over here. Whatever. Pull this for real. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Can we trigger that twice? Nope. I just realized I wanted to try something. So, in case you're wondering, if you save and quit while going through this dungeon or with Princess Zelda, you restart from the point that you rescued Princess Zelda. I am telling you that instead of showing it off because I sure as heck don't want to go through this whole dungeon again. Let us instead finish things up. Princess Zelda, you are safe! My word, are you a monster? Princess Zelda, did this rabbit save you? Okay, he knows I'm a rabbit, but still called me a monster. He is very much against rabbits, it seems. Or it could just be the fact that I'm a 5-foot rabbit with a sword and shield and a green tunic. Yes, this is Link, and he helped me escape. Though he looks like a monster, he is a true friend. Aghanim is to blame for changing him and imprisoning me. When I was captive, the wizard said, "Once I have finished with you, the final one, the seal of the wise men will open." Link, I believe in you. Don't let the land of Hyrule fall into the wizard's clutches. If he releases the seal of the 7 wise men, evil power will overwhelm this land and others will suffer too. Before that happens, before it's too late, destroy the wizard before he destroys all of Hyrule. I just know you can do it. If you were once a human, I suspect that a great evil has come to this land. Perhaps the legendary Master Sword can be called upon to save us all. It is said that the village elder is a descendant of one of the 7 wise men. Maybe he can tell you more. I will mark his house on your map, but watch your every move. I am certain that the castle soldiers will be looking for you now. Not only that, but I have no doubt that many people will also fear you in your monster form. I will hide Princess Zelda here. Do not worry, seek the elder. Do you understand? Yes. Alright. So, here's a thought. You just said that the elder of the village is a descendant of the wise men. But Aghanim has already said that Zelda is the last one. I guess you only need a certain amount of descendants. Because I imagine there's a bunch of them. Just needed to find the right ones or something. I don't know. Anyway, open this up. Open this up. Excuse me. Rabbit coming through. Open this up. You found a heart container. Your heart level increased. Basically, for almost every dungeon in the game, you get your health increased. There's also some opportunities to increase your health along the way, and I will definitely be trying to get 100% and fill up my life to maximum amount. I make no promises. Might need a little bit of help. I might have to look at a guide, but I'll try. Meet the elder of the village and get the Master Sword. Link, be careful out there. I know you can save Hyrule. How come your tail is twitching suddenly? The dialogue changes in this game are gonna be interesting. Well, with that, I suppose we are going to be ending this here first episode. So, we're going to go ahead and put this information at the bottom of the screen. These are all of my patrons. And next time, we will head on over to... Actually, can I open the map? No, this is still technically part of the dungeon. So technically speaking, since the castle is a separate dungeon, I guess this means we start off with 2 dungeons in a row. They're little dungeons, but they're dungeons. Well, point is, as soon as we get out onto the overworld map, we'll take a look at the map and see where we're supposed to go. Not that I have to, I know where to go. But, you know, just for showing things off, for the sake of showing things off. Ella Enchanted, I know since you didn't request this, it's going to be kind of interesting. I'm glad you gave me permission to do this ROM hack. Hopefully, you will not regret that and find this actually a pretty dang interesting ROM hack. Because I sure think it is. Also, if you want to save your game, you press select. And save and quit. No save and continue. That's kind of weird.